What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to FACEIT TV. We are here to conclude the closed qualifiers here for the FACEIT League, that $50,000 league that's just, I think there's a lot of hype surrounding this, and we've got 4 amazing teams who are going to be playing today. Of course, we have 2 semi-finals. It's kind of like 2 little finals, because we're not going to go play the finals, because the winner of each of these semi-finals will be qualified, as there are 2 spots.
Kind of like mini-finals, I suppose.
Yeah.
They're not finals, they're not semi-finals, they're kind of mini-finals. Yeah. So 2 of the 4 teams today will be going to the league over the next 2 months, and will be in with a chance of winning $50,000 at LAN finals between America and Europe.
It's going to be good. And we have, of course, first game going to be Copenhagen Wolves, which we saw yesterday in a thrilling overtime, double overtime on Inferno against Unwanted. And I don't know, that was pretty amazing. SMF was actually playing. I think Glaive is actually stepping in. Now I think SMF was just helping them out. So Glaive should be stepping into the lineup, but I think we still need to confirm that. But either way, they'll be playing against Epsilon, the French team that have been doing, to be honest, very well recently. But it depends whether or not shox is in the house, because he's been off recently. So we'll have to see if he's jumping in today. Yeah,
I think there are. Last time we checked, about 8 people on the server, but I didn't see a list of who was there. So we'll find out soon enough if shox is indeed in the house. Although, I mean, it's a pretty. If you think of like the games they've played recently, this is probably the most critical game, because if they win this best of 3, then that's a hell of that's like the next 2 months sorted, you know, for their team. If they don't win this best of 3, then they're going to be on deathmatch for a while. So you know, it's a pretty important match for him to make. So hopefully he does make it today.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you said before, where like teams get to go and have guaranteed exposure for a couple months. That's
Absolutely.
Kind of a big deal when it comes to organizations and getting your name out there. So yeah, it's not just like it's just one little event over the course of a weekend or something. It's going to take a course of 2 months. So all the teams, you know, the pressure's really on here. And of course, I think Copenhagen Wolves, they have so much talent, but Epsilon as well. I'm just looking at these 2 teams. I'm trying to think who should win this. I feel like Epsilon, from recent results, should be better on paper. But Copenhagen Wolves, they can basically beat anyone. They can,
but I mean, how well do you think they did against Unwanted?
Well, that was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I felt like they should have had a much stronger result, and it felt like Unwanted kind of figured them out. But Unwanted did actually have some really good results. They actually, to get to that match, they took down Dope, I think 16-8, so pretty convincing win against them. So they did very well, considering the fact that they weren't a team and they were playing Inferno, which, you know, albeit a pretty stable map, definitely going to throw advantages to the people who've got a lot of experience together, and Copenhagen Wolves really do have a lot of experience together.
It was best of 1, however, so we can only take so much from that game. And now we've got 2 solid teams, 2 solid long-term established teams in a best of 3 here, so they're both going to be able to show us what they can do. And I believe the first map is Cash, the second map is Dust 2, and the third map is indeed Inferno.
Love me some Cash.
Yeah.
Cash is a brilliant map.
I think we both get quite excited when it's Cash.
Yeah, and actually Copenhagen Wolves has some really great maps on Cash again in ESL 1. So they have they've shown some good gameplay there. They're definitely not weak there at all. And of course, you know, shox' soldiers in Epsilon. If shox is actually there, we'll have to see. It's going to be a bit of a surprise. They are also a really good team on Cash. I wonder what it's going to look like for them, though. I haven't seen a lot of Cash matches with FXio just yet. So
shox is indeed in his house.
Nice.
Bonsoir, Mr. shox.
And also we've got Glaive in for SMF, so 4 lineups going on here for both teams.
Yeah, this is good. This is for all the marbles, ladies and gents. So we do have the knife round. Again, this is one of the more balanced maps in comparison to, say, Inferno, which we saw yesterday. So you know, most people want to be on the CT side, because I'd say what, slight advantage CT, do you think, or how do you feel about this map?
I feel like there is a slight advantage on the CT side, but generally speaking, I think it just feels better to play CT first, to kind of know what you have to accomplish on the T side, because you get to just react and just there's less decision making overall. With the T side, you have to really do a lot more decision making, make a lot more risks, and take a lot more calls in that sense. So it feels much more comfortable, I feel like, on the CT side generally. If you're with any kind of a doubt, just go CT. And I think as we go into this pistol round, we're going to be in for quite a nice little opening here, because Copenhagen Wolves, I think they're going for that B split there. They got the smokes down to get them on vent, but wow, the one tap there onto Pimp. shox doing a good job holding it down so far on the B-bomb site. And wow, kioShiMa as well on the site is definitely in a good position here. They are really hitting their shots. Copenhagen Wolves can't get anywhere close to the bomb spot at the moment. Glaive is going to take a couple kills in the back there, but he's left without a bomb or a team to help him out here.
If I find where shoxy is on a pistol round, I'm going immediately to the other bomb site because, like, along with Forrest, I mean, look at that. That's it's robotic. It's insane. He's just. I think he's probably the best pistol player in the world. I mean, Forrest is up there, but shoxy is so consistent with those one taps. He is just a machine, an absolute machine. And he took out 3, 4 of those players.
That was a 4 kill there from shox. So pretty well done.
What can you do? I mean,
yeah, exactly like you said. They walked into B. That's probably the last place they wanted to be, finding themselves up against shox. But they're going to be in with the CZs right now to see if they can make something happen here. And they're just going for the picks at the moment. It's just if there's any aggression, just spread out, see if you can find some picks, maybe pick up a weapon. Of course, Epsilon are going to be, they are just going to try and deny any kind of moves like that. They are in good positions. There's no one apart from SF really who could possibly get isolated. So overall, Epsilon with a pretty strong defense here in Copenhagen Wolves, as we can see, gathering towards mid, have to make a play soon.
We can see GMX is playing the rotation between mid and A, which is a position you made a video on. Was it Titan, that video you made?
Yes, Scream, I think.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how useful he becomes during the later stages of this first half.
Yeah, the middle battle is so important, and you need that guy who's supporting the kind of sniper, the dedicated mid player, to be able to actually get himself like very quickly close and onto the vent position if needed. You can also do that with 2 guys on B. They can take vents and do that from the B side. But also you just need him to be there very quickly, as we can see right here, just to get the nades in straight away, to just be able to have some kind of advantage with the flashes and the smokes, so that your sniper can really get in place and so that if they are boosting, you don't get caught out. We're seeing again, the next pistol round here from Copenhagen Wolves. They are actually going to get a bit closer to the side. It might even get the bomb planted, but shox kioShiMa did put in a lot of frags and no bomb plant for them. But still, nevertheless, they are going to get the buy-in on the next round. So I'm very curious to see if we're going to see these crazy mid-battles, because that can be so exciting sometimes to just see both teams not giving up on it.
I was going to say, I'm quite curious to see how many people Epsilon put on the B bomb site and how they're going to change their standard CT setup between the rounds so they don't become telegraphed and predictable. So they've gone for 3 mid straight away and 1 on B.
Yeah.
With that, shoxy with the AWP. I'm not sure where he is at the moment. Can you see him on the map? He's number 1.
Yeah, he's towards B. He's on the angle towards B storage. You can see him there.
Okay, so he's holding it down on his lonesome. We've seen what shoxy can do with an AWP. There's that extra special replay on Inferno Banana when he had the AWP that everyone went crazy about. So we'll see how he does later on in this, but it looks like it's going to be a slow push from the terrorists. Going to try and maybe get a pick and stretch out the CTs. Although they have a minute left on the clock, so they're going to want to breach in probably the next 20 seconds or so, clear the site in order to get the bomb down. Leaning towards B, it seems.
We've actually seen one rotation here early on in the round, which actually should help Copenhagen Wolves. So their strategy here to just wait and finally move into shoxy there. Just one spring out the vents will go get taken down by Glaive and Nico. They are making the entry frags. They are in the bomb site. It looks pretty clean at this point. 4-on-3 situation. This can be a very hard situation if they get the open plant, which is what Copenhagen Wolves are actually doing at the moment. So that's going to allow them to have a good vantage point on that bomb plant itself, from B storage, from the vent room, from CT spawn, from pretty much anywhere. And here we go, the assault coming in from Epsilon. kajunb with a double there, leaving SF alone, and he's not going to be able to get it done. So 3-1 there. The score is Copenhagen Wolves do finally take themselves around on their first proper buy round there. And something I just want to highlight is actually the movement from Epsilon early in the round. They had the kind of crossfire set up here and here with their mid player just sniping from the back. And this is really nice, of course, because if they do go for the boost, you get 2 people who can shoot onto this angle. But if they do go for the rush on B, shox has some help straight out of the vents straight away. And you can cover all your bases. And play like that is really nice. It gives you a lot of possibilities, even a counter boost if you want to be aggressive. Boost your cells over to C and then peek into A main, see where the T's are. If you want to get crazy, then that possibility is very viable as well. So Epsilon giving themselves a lot of options here to find information. can see, we saw this all yesterday from Copenhagen Wolves as well. They love to just play it slow and really see if they can get some information as to where the players are actually standing for Epsilon, so they can find a good call that works for them. And here we go. Looks like we're going to see a bit of an A split here.
Nico smoking off the angle from the car, so if there's an AWP watching the site, he won't have any vision.
SF getting taken down there at the back boxes. Oh no, actually, sorry, FX actually staying alive. SF does go down, but he has a lot of support. But slowly but surely, karrigan, Glaive moving on top of the site. They are going to finally take control until it's a one-on-one. kioShiMa moving his way in from short at the moment. While the toxic barrels, he's going to just be able barely with that spray to take down Glaive. And Epsilon losing a lot of men on that round. So despite the loss there from Copenhagen Wolves, we can really see the effect on the economy that's going to start really playing into Copenhagen Wolves' favor, as eventually, once they get the ball rolling, they'll be able to force those ecos, which is what they really, really want. But just for now, they're going to have to find themselves with their little eco. But we can see Glaive, who had quite a bit of money, actually bought up quite a lot of grenades. Nico has quite a lot of cash as well, so they were just shy of a buy here. And I just want to jump over to Glaive to see how he's going to use these grenades. He's got the only smoke for Copenhagen Wolves, and he's got 2 flashbangs as well. And looks like they are moving towards A here. So Glaive could be trying to smoke off the short by the toxic barrels, or perhaps he wants to put a smoke that can really deal with that position at car all the way at the back. There goes the little pop flash. Glaive in. Forklift under attack at the moment as Copenhagen Wolves are gaining ground. And it's just 2 players there from Epsilon left now. shox and kioShiMa coming in from the back is shox. It's going to be a surprising position. It's going to be up to kioShiMa to really distract them so shox can actually get out the door safely here. shox making his way out, getting a double. Bomb is ticking away though. And it is a 2-on-2 at this point. Nico and karrigan left. shox with the 3rd kill there. It's all on Nico to stop this defuse from happening. In he goes around. He's going to stop the defuse in time. Oh, no, did he? No, actually, shox got the defuse. Just barely in time. And they had no idea where he was. Really well played there by Epsilon, just going for that defuse. A bit of a risky play from just leaving the diffuser alone there in the smoke, but it barely worked out for them.
Yeah, shox seemed to clean house that round. He killed. I mean, that was the odds were certainly against him. I think it was a 4-on-2.
Yeah,
yeah, and seemed to just clean them all out from door while his teammate held the angle on the bomb site. So nice work there from shox. He is such a beast. It's something else to watch. Possibly the best player in the entire game. So hopefully we'll see more of him in this best of 3.
Are they counter boosting? Yeah, they're counter boosting here. FACEIT is the one that gets boosted over, and they weren't looking for it. That is a common spot to actually look out for, but they were complacent. FACEIT are going to capitalize on their complacency with a frag and falls all the way back, so it's pretty much for free. And they saw a few players there as well, so Epsilon have to be grinning at the moment.
Yeah, that's going to hurt Copenhagen Wolves, and that's one of their riflers done, which means it's going to be harder for them to do a fast-paced bomb take later on in the round unless Nico drops for the AK. But that seems unlikely, as he could, again, just get the first 1 or 2 openers with the AWP. But it does make them a little bit less mobile. So with 35 seconds left, we'll see if their bomb seems to be heading towards B now with 2 players still in the mid-area. So might be a split here. We've got them going through the vents now, so if we can go and have a look at the B bomb site, see what's going on there.
And shox is on the bomb site. Not a lot of help.
Yeah, he's going to use the cover to stay alive for as long as possible. However, that isn't very long at all. The bomb has been dropped by FACEIT, and GMX gets the 2nd frag. And the remaining Ts don't really know where to look. And that's a nice hold there from Epsilon.
Certainly was 6-1 the score then, and Copenhagen Wolves with a kind of a delayed the strategy there, eventually hitting that B split. It often can be really strong, but you kind of want to push the CTs away from mid first, like clear out sandbags, clear out the white box, and try to get this at smoke here. So you have all this control, and they have to fall back onto A and kind of fall back onto B. Then going for the B split, it tends to be a bit more effective there. They didn't really have any mid presence at all, so they're really making their lives a lot more difficult. And but that first early kill definitely helped them out. And they are going to go for a quick little push here, all through the door. Maybe they can get the players down quickly enough to get the bomb planted. kajunb with the double, going to pick himself up the rifle. 12 health on him though, but he is able to cover in time for the bomb plant. And there you go, a third frag coming from him. FXGO with the double. The spray is good, and he will get the defuse, but the losses were heavy for Epsilon there, and all the good work they've been doing, building that bank, is not looking so hot right now after a wonderful moment from Copenhagen Wolves.
Nice abuse of the close quarter CZ there from the terrorist sides on the B-bomb site. Very nice aiming though to go straight for the head. And they got the bomb plants, which is the key thing for them in that round. It gives them enough money to buy. We've got Nico of the AWP there, full nades on all players and helmets. So we'll see what their approach is for this round and see if the CTs continue with their standard setup or if they mix things up a little bit. Seems we have 2 people on the B-bomb site this time, whereas on their first buy round we had shox on his lonesome with 3 people mid, and now we've got GMX rotating towards the A-bomb site where the T's seem to be peeking, and there's the opening from Nico. So we'll see how the CTs react here with rotations.
Yeah, this is a beautiful pick there from Nico, and that will allow an A split here, but Epsilon know it's coming. So and they have a lot of time to try to change this up, but they feel like it's good. They're going to go for it, throwing those smokes, those flashbangs. FXGO in the back of the site. They need to deal with him really quickly here. He's going to stay alive. Great support there from kioShiMa. And oh my god, just frag after frag. It's just Nico and kajunb left, and they still haven't got that bomb down. Still need to find that ground. And here it is, kajunb to fix it all for Copenhagen Wolves, but FXGO still in the back, still with more frags, and Epsilon are going to take it 8-1, and they just couldn't deal with FXGO quickly enough before kioShiMa could get in position to support him. And that player at back boxes, you got to take him down, otherwise it's just impossible.
Yeah, that's a great position there by FXGO, and he used it quite well. I mean, they have to worry about all the other CTs on the site, and they have no idea when they're going to peak, so it's really hard for them to focus on FXGO, who's kind of popping out now and then. It's like whack-a-mole, you know, it's very unpredictable. It's a nice wallbang on kajunb, down to 46 HP. These guys really know their maps and their angles. So again, yeah, the combination of FXGO peaking now and then and his other teammates holding down the site makes it a really difficult push for T's without a Molotov or similar to force FXGO out of his position.
And this does remind me of the Copenhagen Wolves that I saw at ESL one day. They didn't like to really put a lot of pressure onto mid early in the round, or even delayed mid takes. They didn't really put a lot of their strategies. They didn't have that in their heads, and I would like to see that more from them. We're seeing actually they're going into mid now, a bit of a delayed take on mid, which it can be really effective once the CTs have gotten out of position for that solid defense. But it's going to be a bit of a trade going on there as they go for the B split, and it's already on top of Epsilon before they know what has hit them. But still, we've got one player in the back there on the site. FXGO going to go down. SF with the trade, though.
Bomb's in a horrible place for the T's right now. Still can be done, though. 25 seconds remaining, but Nico needs to go huge here. CTs do have a crossfire setup, so he's going to be walking into Sniper Alley here if he goes to that bomb. Probably is going to look to... Is he going to look to save, or is he going to go for it? 15 seconds remaining. Doesn't get the headshot on SF, and that's the end of the round for Copenhagen Wolves. Just a small point, it's worth mentioning how the CTs reacted to the push on mid there. When the flashes and nades started coming in from the T side on mid, kioShiMa, he was on the A bomb site and he had his teammate close to A main, and he threw a pop flash over so his teammate could peek, make sure it wasn't a fake, and then they rotated more people towards the mid bomb site. So that's a really good reactionary play there by Epsilon.
And also they're going fast with the push onto A here, just almost a dry run, just straight out into the site. Not going to wait for any nades. SF in a close position on the bomb spot itself. Here he goes, taking down the bomb planter. SF holding that position quite well now, and Glaive going to get getting taken down rather as well. shox coming in finally. Cavalry is here. It has arrived, and Nico needs to go huge with the spray. He's not going to get it, and it's looking. They're just getting trounced at the moment. It's 10-1, and they can't quite seem to find what works. They've done a lot of B splits, only to be stopped by the likes of shox, FXGO, and Kind. And FXGO even putting in a lot of work on the A side. He's been very mobile actually across the map in their setups. They've been playing the spawns quite a lot, and so far for Epsilon, it feels like their defense is just too good. Even when Copenhagen Wolves have been getting the picks, they are still struggling to really come to a close here.
There are only 4 rounds remaining, so I wonder if Copenhagen Wolves need to be picking mid earlier, as you mentioned, because it gives them more options. The way they're being so passive with mid, it's kind of like playing Inferno without mid almost. You know, it makes their moves very telegraphed and allows the CT to build defense on both sides. Whereas, obviously, if they are forced to commit more people to mid, then pushes on either side can be somewhat easier for the terrorists. Yeah,
there's a lot of really key smokes that you can do. Like you can do a smoke from behind the reds here in mid, and you can get it so it lands about there, and that obviously stops them. The CT, the smoke kind of just blocks vision all the way across with almost one smoke, and then you can, as you're running out, you can kind of pop flash yourself out. So if they are running close, you can kind of stop them from getting really good engagements with you, and by blinding them, and you can see it here. You know, they're also getting the smoke on the mid spot as well, the CT mid main. And this is where the vent position becomes very important for the CTs, to really be close there on the vent room itself. And we're seeing that actually come into play there. They're actually able to pick up one frag, but it looks like Copenhagen Wolves are actually committing all the way up mid. They're going up short here. And this can sometimes get a little bit hairy, because it's not such a great position against the players on A. And we'll see how this turns out for them, though. There is 4 Danes left and 4 Frenchmen left as well.
The CTs have basically completely resigned mid and have gone to
I like this.
dual bomb site defense, which is obviously the smartest idea because the Ts do have to get the bomb down.
So they got karrigan into a very good position and then fell all the way back for an A main push. And here he's going to come in for the flank now. And a key spot, good quick smoke there. If any players rotating through CT spawn, karrigan's position here, absolutely key. It turned out that they didn't need so much help from him, but either way, very well played around here for Wolves. kioShiMa left against the 3 now. That bomb ticking away.
Yeah, he can still buy next round, so he's going to try and get the economical damage in, or just go huge. Doesn't happen on this occasion. Who's getting the frags here for Epsilon?
FX Show. It's funny because when we look at it from Copenhagen Wolves' perspective, FX Show is kind of everywhere because they've been playing on spawns a little bit. We saw him in the back on A, in the back boxes, that one key round where he took out loads of players with the AWP, but he's also been wreaking havoc when they're actually pushing B. So FX Show has been playing very dynamically. Now he's playing mid. They've actually, oh well, he was going for the quick mid peek, but he's been basically very free form at the moment, and it's working out for them.
CPH Wolves have pushed up mid again. They've got 3 guys in mid, one in towards A main, and one guy just hanging out around the B bomb site to make sure they have options open and don't get flanked.
But look at this, SF is actually all the way around the door. He pushed the door completely, so he kind of knows if this position's kind of cool because you can see exactly what's happening if they're trying to push A main. So it's a really nice one for SF to at least get a peek, get a glance, and see what's there. And he's going to fall all the way back. But they know now there's traffic towards A.
Yeah, there's 2 people in A main and 1 going towards door, so there's going to be some action on that bomb site now.
Here they go. Copenhagen Wolves bullying Epsilon off of the A bomb site here. Wow, GMX getting a triple with that FAMAS. cajunb gets taken down, and it looks so great for the Danes, but they just couldn't hold on in the face of the FAMAS there. Nico 1-on-3 with 35 seconds left. But a 1-on-1 on short, going to take that one down. shox to fall.
He can definitely still do this.
kioShiMa goes down, but not quite enough, and GMX still standing, and that was
FAMAS
a huge
OP.
round. That was a 4 kill with the FAMAS, actually, from GMX, I think. So very well played to him, and it feels like Epsilon, pretty much all the players are just pulling out these huge individual plays at the moment. Just great individual performance. There's not much more to say other than that.
I think it's a combination of a great CT play and maybe a lack of pressure towards the mid area.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we've seen late in the game, but we've only got 2 rounds on the board so far of Copenhagen Wolves. 2 quick frags mean that they could get the 3rd here, the last round of the first half.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there. And who we have is actually shox here, very close range with that FAMAS. Going to take down 2 players before he goes down. And that's a good job. He puts it to a 2 versus 3, much more winnable now, considering that the bomb has not yet been planted. GMX in a great position. They are flashed from the vent room. In comes SF from above, taking down 2. And now Pimp coming in from behind, unable to get the frag, but the bomb is down on the site. How is he going to do this? There's a lot of time for him to play with, but he has no health at all. This is the last round of the first half. Pimp absolutely needs to take this. He needs to find a way.
If he goes through the smoke, he's dead, because he won't see them before they see him. So yeah, he has to wait, but he's got time to wait.
Yeah, just playing it patiently again, using that time as much as he can. And this is just next to impossible. Going to try to slowly peek out, but that's going to be it. And 13-2. And one thing I got to highlight about options for terrorists on mid in this map is that, and something that was really cool. I don't actually think I've seen this too many times, but you can see this on some other maps. This principle where you kind of push an area, and they took over mid, and then they were like, okay, let's push up short, and then they had a lot of presence on short. Then they left the guy there. Then they left him, and he can be there for like 30 seconds just waiting there, whilst the rest of his team moves around A main to set up, so he gets a flank already. So that's kind of nice. I've seen that on Nuke a lot from Fnatic. They put Flusher in roles like that a lot, and that's really cool.
Similar to taking long on Dust 2 as well.
Exactly, yeah. It's powerful if you are able to use it well. But we'll return to that point momentarily as we are underway here with the pistol round for the second half. And Epsilon creeping their way in towards B, and look at that, through the smoke. GMX going to find himself a frag on Pimp. cajunb, though, great position. They're going to catch off GMX for the trade. And that's going to really control the round a lot more for Copenhagen Wolves, getting that kill. And that means that Epsilon didn't really gain any ground with the frag that they made. So that's a relief for Copenhagen Wolves, as they absolutely need to take this. Got some trades going on in mid right now as well.
They haven't seen the bomb yet, Copenhagen Wolves, so they still have to hold the A bomb site, but it looks like the rotation is coming in, so they've probably got the audio cues, heard the T's running around, and that's going to be the bomb site. Let's see where they plant the bomb now. They've got that final frag, second final frag, sorry.
I haven't seen that fight them before, but karrigan with 2 health left against 3 guys. Yeah, this is a little bit, it's not so doable. But yeah, that was very unfortunate that karrigan, after making that, I think it was karrigan who made the return frag in B, that it didn't really swing in the favor of Copenhagen Wolves, and it was just Epsilon moved out into mid and were taking the Glock battles at long range, and it just kind of worked, which is not usually what like if I was in that position, I'd be like thinking Glocks against USP's long range. I think I won't risk it, but Epsilon, they're just so confident, and they have no reason not to be.
Scout purchases continue. Nico's got a scout this time. Let's see how he chooses to use it. Looks like he's gone for mid, and he has tagged kioShiMa, who's left on 30 HP.
So Copenhagen Wolves, luckily for them, of course, it is best of 3 as they earn their way towards this spot and in the tournament. And yeah, it's just to finish off the point about mid quickly, is that you can push mid, and if you're successful, you can obviously like smoke the guy off here.
Look at this buy. Sorry to interrupt you, but we've got a Nova in the house.
I have to see if that
big pop-up pump. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do this before I go into the theory. Let's just jump into the double scout, the Nova.
I just want to follow the Nova, man.
You want to follow the Nova?
I want to follow big pop-up pump. See what he does.
All right, let's do it. There's no one A main though, James.
Oh, okay, fine. Change it.
There's no one there.
Let's see the action.
Let's find the scouts here. Glaive on his scout. He's the only one left now. It's only him and karrigan left with that shoddy.
Oh wait, stop! Scott Steiner's flanking.
Shotty.
The Nova.
Here we go, the Nova.
Oh, come on.
No Nova.
Oh man.
Glaive.
Nova's
Can't
awesome.
get it either. But there you go, 16-2, massive result there, and yeah, so mid on this map. It wasn't really explored on the T side, and you can get situations. It's a bit like on Dust 2. We had like the standard rounds where you take over short and you take over dark and you kind of have long as well. And the CTs kind of they can't push in easily for information. You can smoke them away from information. It's kind of a similar thing where you want to like take as much map control as you can. And then once the AWP is like smoked out of the CT mid main, he can't see out of there. And once you're really close to white box, it's not safe for a CT guy to be standing there, because if you peek out or get pop flashed out, he will just die. So they have to like retreat onto the A site, and then the other guy who's on mid main has to kind of retreat towards the back, towards maybe short. To car or maybe to B. So then the terrorists gain so much map control, they can B split, they can A split, they can do pretty much whatever they want. But if you do attack up A short, then that's kind of a best case scenario for the CTs, because it's much easier for them to handle that with grenades. So we only saw them leaving a guy on short and then pushing back through A main, which is really nice, but would have liked to see more mid play from them generally.
Yeah, I think the mid pressure also is it's more expensive generally for the CTs, because it is a war of attrition, and if you're both dying, then it's one that the terrorists win, purely because it's a lot more expensive to buy on CT.
Yeah.
So that's definitely worth a point worth mentioning. And yeah, if you don't take middle, then on the T side you're kind of making a funnel for yourself.
Yeah,
it just makes it harder to take the bomb sites if you're all coming from basically the same way.
And there's this common mistake that I've made many times as well, where once you get mid as a terrorist, it kind of feels really good. So you kind of want to go up short, but in taking mid, you kind of force CTs to have a focus there. So you're kind of playing into their crosshairs, and it's very easy to get picked off there, and you don't have to do it. And I think the B splits, because they pulled in some cool B splits there, but they're very, very quick. And those were quite nice, but I would have liked to see a slower round with like the mid take. Then just keep the CTs guessing on what we're going to do, what are we going to do, or sorry, what are they going to do, and then you hit the B split later on through the vents and through B. Just keep them guessing.
It's worth mentioning also how Epsilon reacted to things when they were on CT.
Yeah.
So on the rounds where Copenhagen Wolves decided to just bum rush straight through mid and take it as soon as possible, most of the time they lost maybe only one CT, and they just got the hell out of there and stood on the bomb sites and tried to hold it there. So it wastes more time, and B, they can kind of mount a stronger defense than the war of attrition that would happen in mid. And
it's also kind of like about denying the CTs like really nice positions, because if they get close on just close to mid, the T side of mid, they can hear a lot and they can do the counter boost, which was what we saw actually happen. Like Epsilon pulled that one off. I think FX Show jumped over and got a quick kill, and then actually saw some players as well. So this kind of informs the guys on B what is actually safe. And Epsilon were always kind of trying to play close to mid and play close to vents, and having one guy in vents or taking the vent room with 2 players and boosting someone up is really strong and powerful as the CTs. And Epsilon were all over that, so they could always react quickly. So Copenhagen Wolves, by kind of like not taking that control and playing a bit slower, it was just easier for Epsilon to react, because as soon as they did something, it was kind of obvious, I think, to Epsilon like what was happening. So they dealt with it very quickly.
So the next map is Dust 2. What do you think is going to happen on this map?
Oh, this is a much better map, I think, for Copenhagen Wolves, for sure. But I don't know, it's hard to call. Epsilon look really on form right now. They are not missing many shots, James.
They're looking pretty solid.
Yeah.
And we've seen shoxy's snapping like... shoxy's in the Matrix right now. All he's seeing is green hieroglyphics, so I don't know if anyone can stop him in this qualifier today.
Oh man, this is going to be an interesting one though. Dusty's always... Actually, Dusty's getting better again, because I think there was like a time for me at least where Dusty felt a little bit boring and vanilla. Because let's face it, Dust 2 has been a map that's been every competitive pool forever for like, what, how many... well over a decade. So
I've played Dusty for 12 years.
Exactly. So
it's a long time.
But for me, it's still interesting. So we'll actually find out what's going to happen there on map number 2. Hopefully, Copenhagen Wolves can pull their socks up and put in a much stronger performance against Epsilon, who must be running with such momentum and confidence right now. But we will find out right after the break. So stay tuned, guys.